see that? You can see that?
Mm-hmm. 100% at Shaw Skate Park in DC, and we're doing the interview today about his latest collection, which is
the VULTURES collection, I would say.
How's your day going so far? How are we doing?
Good, man. It's hot outside. It's been raining a couple of days, so you know, the sun feels good today.
Why did you incorporate Disney aesthetic influences into a collection called the VULTURES?
As I was doing my research on this collection, I started, you know, realizing, you know, the how can I say, the erasure and the innocence of like their movies and history, and it basically was like interpretations of like folklore and stuff. So basically everything had been out, you know what I'm saying, before that company had been out. So it was like reinterpretation. So I kind of had a situation where I was looking at fashion as like, damn, a lot of people reinterpret stuff, or you know, they say still like an artist. So it was interesting. So I took that aspect and applied it to this collection.
Sure, yeah, kind of referencing Virgil Abloh 3% rule or something of that nature, yeah?
Kinda, yeah. And also, before I forget though, I was doing a little bit of research too, and I seen that they took they like characters from like minstrel shows. You know, that's why all of them wear the white gloves. So that was another thing that stuck out, and then I just fell down a vicious rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying?
Going into that actually relates to the next question. You did reference Disney's complicated racial history, and why was that specifically important to this collection?
Again, because it's always interesting when you see how companies or history, you know, repackages stories when it's, how can I say, easily digestible, and they can, you know, resell it and repackage it, you know what I'm saying? But the original story is always a little bit darker, or always a little bit more intense, you know what I'm saying? Just like, I'd say like The Song of the South, which was another Disney movie that I referenced for this collection.
The more that you research a lot of subjects, yeah, there's a lot of complicated history behind it, yeah, so it's definitely a good reference point and a way to educate people on, you know, the roots of something that's so ingrained into like our general culture here in America and,
that'd be my
and worldwide.
Thing too, is like making stuff kind of like giving a sneaky lesson behind it or something like that, or a story, but still making it, you know, streetwear though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in our conversation before this, we actually spoke a bit about how Disney has reinterpreted folklore and tall tales. How does that connect to your own critique of fashion culture at large?
It happens in history, it happens in sports, it happens in fashion. Like I said earlier, it's just basically the repackaging and reselling of something and making it your own is what intrigued me, because I had a situation where, like I say, a lot of people were maybe inspired by me, and you know, we're dealing with that when you coming up. You're just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It kind of make you angry at first, but like I said, I had to, you know, turn that anger into art, you know what I'm saying? That's how I came up with this collection. Like I said, when I seen Disney, a company like that was doing it, I was like, damn. If I don't gotta work.
What role did your hometown of DC play in the collection's formation?
So like I said earlier, when I was doing my research, I found out about an amusement park that was supposed to be built outside of DC called Disney America. So from there, like I said, just going down this rabbit hole, I'm like, you know, I gotta do something with that. But yeah, like that stuck out to me because I had never heard of that, you know, prior to me doing my research. So that, and then like I said, a lot of just, you know, just community, streetwear, stuff I really go through out here in the city. Basically, it's like, you know, that's what this whole thing about, man. That's what the city did for this collection.
Was the "Don't Come" slogan that is featured in the collection meant as a warning, or what is the meaning behind it? Is there a deeper meaning?
It depends on who reads it, you know what I'm saying? It could be a warning, advertisement, invitation. We talking slogans out here. So like, DC stand for "Don't Come." It's basically some shit I've been hearing my whole life, you know what I'm saying, out here. And then recently, the other day, about a month ago, I I was out here, somebody was drunk and kept saying it. It stuck with me, and I was like, man, I gotta do something with that. And it just hit me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna flip the DC joint with the Disney funk, and you know, cause it give it like that whimsical look, but then it do give it like that warning sound. Like if you far away from it, you'll be like, it's a Disney, and then they say don't come and die, fuck with your head. Like, what is that about? You know what I'm saying?
What's a bit more about your like background and how you got into designing in the first place?
I got into designing. I used to manage artists. Just like I wanted to be like the creative director. I did like all the graphics. They was like having like, you know, writer's fog and brain block and stuff. I would come up with ideas, video treatments, stuff like that. I wanted to do the merch. And then from there, my last artist that I was working with, Situation, you know, ran this course. And I'm like, man, it was like during COVID. I'm like, man, I gotta figure something out, you know what I'm saying? And here we are, you know. I took some of that money during COVID, saved it up, that you know, the Trump, them stimulus checks and shit like that, stacked them up, and I started my brand basically.
What about the Vultures collection? How does it feel personal to your own story?
It feels personal, like I said, like I was saying earlier about Disney, how a big company could just reinterpret folklore and family stories and tall tales of urban legends that have, you know, been around forever and make them their own and don't get a proper credit. I experienced the same, but it was my way of basically speaking on or touching what I went through in an artistic way type shit, instead of, you know, being angry or wanting to sue or fight and knock people's shit off the shelves and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this beautiful mind I got and come up with something creative, you know? And that's what I did. But it's almost like protest art in a sense too, you know? And that's what streetwear is too, you know what I'm saying? It's like rebellion culture. You know what I'm saying? It's like going against the system type of thing. And one thing I can say is like, out here, if you notice, like with the Nike and New Balance, whenever they want to do something for the DMV or DC or some shit, they always go to the cherry blossoms, you know what I'm saying? But we got such a rich history out here. That was another thing I was saying, like, man, get on with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much other things to touch on, but when this area is going through this process, I feel like a gentrifying, and they want to smooth it over with the flowers and shit like that. They don't want to touch on, you know, because this is a real urbanized city, you know what I'm saying? So that was just my thing too. It's like, when did we just become just all about cherry, like Chocolate City become Cherry Blossom?
Yeah, when did Chocolate City turn into Cherry Blossom DC? Yeah. That's a part of DC culture now, but that comes from Japan,
really
so you know, like
for real, like,
yeah.
It's like you making it safe for the gentrifiers and the transplants. And, you know, and not saying that I want people, you know, coming to the city or whatever or be feeling welcome type shit, but it's just, I'm totally against just painting the city with cherry blossoms, you know what I'm saying? We got so much more to
yeah,
us
paint the whole picture.
You know? So y'all can take that how you want, but that's just how I feel about it, you know? Like I said, it's such a rich history out here, you know what I'm saying? Every day I learn something new, just from talking to people, or just like I said, doing my own research, but mainly talking to people, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like a DC historian these days. Shout out DC Baby. This is 100%. Yeah, that's the name of my brand.
Oh, good luck, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.